Hi guys, and welcome to another WordPress video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've built this WooCommerce shop site here. This is part of a course we did online. If you want to take the course, I've got a discount coupon below this video if you want to learn how to build this particular site. We used a free template and a free WordPress build to build this site here. It's a clothing store with all kind of different things and accessories and bits and pieces. What we're going to do in this series of video, we're going to install a plugin called Elementor, which will allow us to build extra pages. We've got plenty of pages on here, but what it's going to do is allow us to build real custom style pages. So follow along with this series and we'll show you how to build some great things using the Elementor plugin. Okay guys, let's go back to where we left off. Yesterday we set up this page and installed the Elementor plugin. Today let's start building. On the left hand side here you've got a little box of widgets or modules, whatever you want to call them. Let's start with a heading. What I'm going to do is grab this heading, drag it over here. There it is, you'll see it right there. And when you put your mouse over something that you've put in there, you're going to see these little blue lines, and the blue lines have a little pencil icon in there, and that's where you edit. This is for actually editing the module itself, our text here. If you look up at the top, there's this blue tab. That's for the actual section which stretches the whole of the width of the screen here. And then a little tag right there. You can add more columns if you want a 2-column section. We'll be doing that later on, but let's just make our section here. And what I'd kind of like to do, if I open up another page here, I might do something like what we've got going on with the rest of our site, which is this kind of dark blue background here. Or we can make it more interesting and have an image. So let's start by making it like this, and we can perhaps jazz it up with an image afterwards. So I'm using Google Chrome here. I'm going to right click and hit inspect just to see what color this section is, because I want to copy that color. And with the Chrome inspector, there it is right there, RGB, you get this CSS here. But I'm copying, and HTML on the left there. As long as you've got elements selected, you'll see HTML. If you've got styles selected, you'll see CSS over here, which is really useful. So I've got that color now. Let's go back to our page edit here. And let's go to the whole section. Now you remember I said the tab up the top was for the whole section. If you want to add another section, hit the plus icon. To edit the section, hit those 6 dots there. And to get rid of it or delete it, hit the cross there. I'm going to hit the edit, and I'm going to give it the blue background. So I'm going to go over to style, background, background type, classic. Let's put that color in, and it lets you put a hex or an RGBA in. We copied an RGBA, so let's just paste that in there, Control V. There we go, and we've got that same blue color that we're using on the other headings there. So let's work on our actual text here. So if we click on the actual text box itself, or in it, you can see it switched the text box there. You can actually edit the text over here if you want to. I guess let's put an S on the end. I know we got a Z or Z on the end at the beans, but I think I'll use an S there. Alright, so you can either type it in there or type it in here. Now once we've got it typed in, what do we want? We can set custom size, any size we want, but they give you a few you can just choose from here. Let's say XL, make it fairly big. H2 tag, that's absolutely fine. I want it to be aligned centrally. Now I'm going to want it to be white in color, so let's go over to our Style tab here. Select the color. I'm going to select white. There we go. Now what I want to do is give it some padding top bottom so it's more like our other page here. So we're roughly, I'm guessing, about 100 pixels. I'm not going to get it spot on, but I'll just guess it. So if we go to our Advanced tab, this is where we find our padding and margin. Now margin is going to push it down, so that whole blue section would move down. You'd have a gap there. Padding is just, or sorry, I should say we're working on this section, so it would push this down. Padding is we're going to give it some padding top and bottom, a bit like when you're packing something into a box that's fragile. You put bubble wrap on the inside of the box. Think of the bubble wrap as the padding there, and how thick you make it or how wide you make it is the amount of bubble wrap you're putting in to provide protection and space. So I'm going to put in 100 top and bottom in the padding here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck the link, because with that checked it'll change all of them at once, and I just want to do the top and bottom. So 100 top and 100 bottom. And there we have it. We pretty much got what I wanted there, and it's very easy to do. So if we look over here, maybe slightly too deep. Let's take that to 90. Like I said, I'm not going to get it exactly. I could figure it out, but we'll get it close. Okay, so let's see. That's pretty close. Okay, so we'll leave it at that for that. But you can go further. Let's say we wanted to put a photo image behind there. Well, of course, that's very easy to do. We'll probably lose this writing as it's white. Let's go back to our section, the tab here. And let's add an image. We're on background. And let's add an image. And for argument's sake, I'm just going to choose one of our slider images that's kind of long and slim. There we go. Let's put that image behind there. Of course, you can't see that writing because it's kind of a light image on a dark background. At the moment, you can see this image at the back is repeating. So default position is fine. What if we're going to have it top center? That's okay. And you can have it fixed if you want it sort of semi-parallax where you move the page up and down. We can't move the page at the moment because we've got nothing underneath it. So I'm going to leave it on default there. Repeat. I don't want it to repeat actually, but I don't want that blue showing through. So I want to fit it or stretch it to the size. So I'm going to say cover. There we go. You could say constrain or contain, I should say. That's not going to work. Or you can set custom. But I'm good with cover. That's fine. But of course we can't see our writing there. Now another thing you can do is you can blend the background color in with the image, which is really useful. So if we go down to background overlay here, you can choose whether it happens all the time under normal or whether it just happens on hover, and you can have two different things if you want. So let's say put this color in here again, the RGBA, same as that blue we put in, and you can see it's giving it that sort of blue hue there. Now you can play with it, get it lighter here. But what I want to do is show you the blend modes. You can get some nice effects if you use this. I'm probably going to use just the regular one here, or I might turn it back to blue. This is just an example to show you how to use an image background. But you've got some effects. Multiply makes it a bit darker. Color dodge. Saturation. You've got some nice effects there. Luminosity. You can read that quite well with that luminosity. But I think I like it best with the normal mode, where it just gives it that blue hue. So that's fine. I'm quite pleased with that. Now if we go back to our text, which is the block within our row here. Remember, we were just, that image is on the row, our text is in this module that's in the middle here. So we're editing our text now, and you can do all kind of different things with the typography. Of course, you can make it bigger or smaller. I'm not going to change that because I like it just as it is. Weight wise, you can make it really skinny, lower number, or you can make it really large, higher number. And I think I'll leave mine as default, which is fine. Transform, you can make it uppercase, capitalized, uppercase, all lowercase. Capitalize, which will put a capital letter on the first and second words. And normal, which is how it was initially. Style is bold, italic, normal, oblique. It's fine. Decoration is if you want to underline or a line through, overline, or none. None is absolutely fine. Line height, we don't need to use that. If we had 2 lines of text here, line height's the space between them. And letter spacing is obviously the distance between each letter. Bring it up, bring it down. Let's reset that to 0. So you can manipulate this pretty much any way you want, which is great. Then when you're done, just simply hit that update button. And you're good to go. You've got a little eye icon there that you can preview with if you click that button. But another thing I want to show you when we're here, this section we've just created here, you might want to use that on other pages and just change the name there. Now if you do, the Elementor makes it really easy to save and load. What you can do is go up to this tab, right click on it, just go down to save as template. Give it a heading. I'll call this header. There we go, and it's saved, and it tells you what it is. It's a section type, who created it, that's the login name that I've got here, and when it was created. So I want to give it a name so you're going to recognize what it is. And then when we create a new page, we can simply just insert that and it's all done. I'll just do one for example, because this load and save is really time saving. So if we say new page, and for example I'll just say header, and I can say edit with Elementor. I'm going to go ahead and publish this. Okay, edit with Elementor. And there we are. We've got our regular thing here, but what we need to do is go back and do what we did with the other page and switch it to Elementor full width canvas. There we go. Full width. Update. Edit with Elementor. Now we've got a new page. To load our section header module, if we wanted to use it on this page, all we do is click on the little file icon here. And they've got a bunch of custom templates you can add stuff for if you want to. Got blocks you can add. If you want to use one of their pre-built little blocks here, just simply do that. But we want to add the one that I've added, which is in my templates. And there it is, header. I'm just simply going to say insert. Import document settings. Well, there's really not much to import, but I'm going to go yes. And there it is. You can see we've got our header there. And if we look over here, the page layout's actually changed to the default. We want to change it back so it's Elementor full width. Not quite sure why it did that. There we go, and there's that header, and all we need to do is just click on it and change it to whatever we want to call it. Update. and hit the preview button. And there it is. There's our header. We can use that on any page, and you can do that for any element. We're going to continue building elements as we go along. So we'll leave it there today. So that's how to set up a section and an element. We'll be building more things tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're interested in web development, take a look down below. We've got some great free web development courses down there, as well as some premium web development courses with some huge discounts for our YouTube subscribers. So do check it out. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.